Read the confession. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, murder too.
I was thinking man one.
I know where you're going, but
Nicole Bell testifies against Henry King, has her life ripped apart. The son of a bitch walks free, has her life ripped apart again. That's practically the definition of heightened emotion.
She admitted to lying in wait outside King's brownstone. That's literally the definition of premeditation. King was a monster. Got what he deserved, check. But she shot him in cold blood, Sam. That's murder all day long.
So, we've got irrefutable evidence of Nicole 2 blocks from the crime scene, 30 minutes before the murder. And we damn near have irrefutable evidence of her in front of the dumpster where the murder weapon was recovered, 5 minutes after the murder. Same clothes, same build, same height, tossing the murder weapon, plus motive, of course.
Hopefully it's enough.
I don't mean to cross lines here, Nathan, but I'm confused.
About what?
Well, you feel so strongly that we tried Nicole for murder, not manslaughter. Yet you toss out her confession, making it so much harder to prove the murder that you feel so strongly about in the first place.
When I was a defense attorney, I had a client, a kid named Harold Collins, 19, gets arrested for aggravated rape. Detectives say they have video, DNA, fingerprints, 2 witnesses. They also tell him he's a suspect in a murder. But if he confesses to the rape, they'll work with the DA's office and let him walk on that. So here's Harold, alone in a tiny concrete box, seeing his life flash in front of him. Never finished high school, has an IQ of about 85. So he admits to a rape he didn't commit. Even worse, he unconsciously spits back all the facts that detectives planted in his head. So it's not only a confession, it's a good confession. We go to trial, lose, Harold gets sentenced to 12 years.
You appealed?
Yeah, but it didn't matter. Harold got beaten to death in prison. 5 months later, police found new evidence that would have exonerated him. That's why it's not such a good idea to let cops lie.
That's a horrible story. But I still stand by my original statement.
I figured. Now let's get back to work. I need to write my opening.
I'm a prosecutor. I'm sworn to enforce the laws of the state. Yet I understand the defendant's desire for revenge, for street justice. 9 years ago, my sister Alexandria was raped and murdered in Georgia. The police never arrested her offender, but I knew who he was, and so did they. Just couldn't prove it. Like the defendant, I was consumed with rage. All I thought about was vengeance. I wanted the son of a bitch to pay for what he had done to my sister. Wanted him to suffer like she'd suffered, like I was suffering. I began to fantasize about killing him, for real. Then one day I grabbed one of my father's guns and I drove over to the monster's house and waited for him to show up. I had it all planned out too. I knew what I was going to say, how many times I was going to shoot him. But when he pulled into the driveway, I just froze. I knew I couldn't do it because it was wrong. Just because you are in pain and feel betrayed doesn't mean you get to play God.
The jury got it right, Sam.
It doesn't feel right. My goal is to help victims, not send them to prison.
If you try a good case, if you do it the way you're supposed to, whatever the jury decides is right, whether or not it feels good. That's the only way I know how to do it. The only way that lets me sleep at night.
The only way I'm going to be able to sleep tonight is about this much bourbon and you asking for the lightest sentence possible.